You know, that's right. Last week was Extreme Lotus Week, and this week we have C Kalos, which also means that next week we're gonna do Limbo, right? Um, no, obviously not, but that would be nice. That would be my last big goal for this year. Unfortunately, we are not there yet, not even close. We practiced a little bit and decided, nope, we aren't strong enough. Anyways, sea colors is the topic of this week's video, and to be quite frank with you, I'm not very good at this boss fight, which is why I'm inviting you to leave any tips that you have in the comments for me to read, to be able to, you know, give some proper advice. With that being said, I do want to share a couple of learnings here that I've made through the weeks of practice that I had to go through, right? So let's check those out together. And before we get into the first learning, let's just say always look at the top bar to notice or to check in which phase of the boss we are in. And then on the left side, I have the meter up, which tells me if I have a shot ready or when the next system is going to be spawned, right? Without the say, this isn't the beginner's guide. I hope you do know the mechanics or have run normal before. This focuses more on, you know, actually being able to get over the edge and be able to clear sea colors, because it's not only a damage thing. It is quite the challenge. So yeah, learning number one. First off, the tip that I want to share is charge your shot quickly. Whenever you see the blue bubble, just press space. You don't have to shoot right away. No, not even close. You can keep the shot charged basically for, what is it, 10 seconds and still shoot. And here in this clip, you'll see me not immediately shooting. I'm just goofing around, attacking the boss here and there, but it's really no meaningful progress. And the meaningful progress in this scenario when we have left up is to shoot left. And that means pressing NPC chat whenever I see the blue bubble, basically. And that's the learning, number one. Alright, so when it comes to learning number two here, this situation is a little bit further into the fight, and you see that we just did our DPS after the test, and now it's cleansing time. Cleansing time, and everybody has to focus on cleansing during this time, because we can't phase again because we're waiting for our burst to be up, right? Which means now we are all on cleansing duty, and this is extremely important that everybody does their part here. Usually we do focus on the left side, then the right side, and then we do top and bottom kind of at the same time, because it's hard to cleanse top and bottom at the same time. With that being said, in this case you can see we are cleansing extremely slowly, which meant that system spawn and the FMA, which also spawns a system, so the natural system spawn by the timer and the system spawn that it was caused by the FMA, overlapped basically, which is something that will happen, and then we're just done. And there's really nothing that you can do about this instead of just cleansing better. It's really, it comes down to cleanse better. I feel like everything in this fight comes down to just cleanse better. And that's really the message here. Also, I feel like if you were to ever talk to somebody about Kalos and what you can do better in a run, the blanket advice will always be just cleanse better. And yeah, last off, I would say is the biggest learning that I've taken away from this fight, and it's actually a horrible clip. So right here you can see me playing really bad. But that's the way it is, right? We have 4 systems up. You see top is about to be cleansed. The team focuses on left, and I get assigned to just getting top done. And I just can't get it done. The learning here is not getting tilted by this, because stuff like this will happen to you. You see me charging a shot and just dying, right? And then charging a shot, and then I hit a cleanse, and then charging a shot, and I die. And whenever you die, you lose basically 10 seconds because you just lost your shot, right? Or maybe you even lost 20 seconds. Does that make sense? But yeah, extremely painful to watch here for myself, even, I have to admit. But these are just situations that you're gonna be in when you're learning this boss fight. And the key takeaway is don't tilt. Don't tilt. You can do it. You'll get better. As everybody will always get better at this game, you know. It's really that simple. It doesn't matter if you fail, you will succeed if you just keep trying. So yeah, with all of that out of the way, let's just watch the run together. And no, we are not starting in phase 1. That is just filler. And no, we're not starting in 2-1 either, because honestly, that's also just filler. I don't know if we've ever failed 2-1 or, I mean, 1-1, of course, we never failed that, right? It's simply just, you know, you do your damage once, do a little bit of DPM. You don't have to do anything, basically, and you're just through. It's just the DPS check. It's, you know, the bounce at the door asking for your ID, and, you know, if you can't do a damage, do your damage in the given time frame, like in 3 minutes. Honestly, don't even bother trying for phase 2. It's simple as that, right? And then you basically have the same situation happening in 2-1. You know, the first segment of Kalos, where you already know, okay, nothing's gonna happen. Because these systems aren't up at the beginning. You just do your damage and wait for 3 minutes while, you know, you slowly warm up to the idea of actually fighting this boss, right? And then you'll actually end up in 2-2, do your damage, and then you see right now we have 3 systems up, which is actually, you know, it's kind of critical. I haven't paid too close attention to my gameplay here, but, you know, as I said in the beginning, feel free to shoot any tips my way, to be honest, dude. I'm so lost here. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, the strategy was shoot left when left is up, and now right is up. Okay, so we gotta shoot right. And then we'll wait for our 3-minute burst, because we are basically a 3-minute party. I think we only have Demon Slayer that's not a 2-minute. I mean, and Bishop, right? Maybe, you know, party composition. I haven't touched on that, right? Obviously, I play Nightwalker, a crazy good class in Kalos. Just the way, you know, the burst works, right? You get most of your damage out in 30 seconds. And, you know, that's basically the window of free DPS. And afterwards, you have the tools to survive, you know, all the shenanigans that this boss throws at you, right? With that being said, we also have Shadower, Mihile, Demon Slayer, Bishop, and Dual Blade. Yeah, a Dual Blade. Nice, right? Yeah, and it just works. It works for us. It's nice to have a Mihile in the party for the extra shields during the burst. It's a little safer because you can tank a little bit of stuff, right? He can tank also the right shots reasonably well in most situations for the team. And other than that, you know, having a bishop is still nice. The FD isn't as broken as it was half a year ago, but the doors, etc., are still extremely nice. With that being said, you do have 8 lives now, so dying out should generally not be the run ender here. Just, you know, the execution, basically. Otherwise, you know, you will fail out before you die out, I think, in most scenarios, right? So yeah. You saw we cleansed well, and now we do want to phase. We only have the ball up, which is absolutely fantastic, right? You don't ever want to go into a test where you have a left and right up. It's just way too dangerous, and then you have to do such a big chunk of HP again that you just can't do with without bursting, right? You have to at least send your 90-second burst, which basically delays, you know, since the test also takes like 30 seconds, right? That delays the whole game plan by another 60 seconds, right? And in 60 seconds, things can happen, right? FMA can happen, spawn a system, the timer can just spawn another system. So it's really not a good time to die during the task or take risky tests if you can avoid it. And, you know, as you've seen early into the fight, you are able to avoid these situations 100%, right? When you're about to enter into the last test, you might be willing to, you know, take some risks, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody's gonna have Jenny iframe, so you're not, you know, you're not 100% going to die. Let's put it like that. But you know, you're not safe either, right? In this test, you could see me use my origin before the test ended, not because I needed it for an iframe, but because I wanted to have the enhanced damage output from the origin for the 30 seconds while the boss is, you know, down and in groggy is what they say, right? So before you need to stun Kalos, he's already, you know, stunned on his own by the matter of the fact that you just completed a test, right? And if I were to use my origin, then it would overlap his own, and you know, bind basically after completing the test, the groggy state with the origin bind, which would be horrible, right? You would just lose 10 seconds uh, of bind time, right? For everybody. And the solution to that is either origin after the groggy state, right? After he's done being, you know, on the ground from completing the task, or origin before, right? Obviously, if you're playing a class where the origin animation is attached to the most damage of the origin, right? Or you know, if you know all the damage gets done during the animation, obviously, you know, origin using the origin during the test is completely useless for you. But for Nightwalkers, it's very much feasible, I think. I haven't done the math, but the initial hit of the origin, not as strong. The 30-second buff that you'll get, very strong. So I think there are other classes where the initial hit is way worse, and then the buff is pretty good afterwards, or you know, even better than Nightwalkers. What comes to mind is Wind Archer, for example. The origin damage itself is really bad. Not sure about the, you know, lingering effect of the origin, or if, you know, the entire origin is bad there, to be honest. But I don't know. Just from my experience with Archer Mule, the origin not that great, at least at level 1, right? So yeah. Do you look at this? Take a look at this. Take this in. No systems are up right now. Dude, this run was executed so freaking well by everybody that we didn't even have a single system at the end there. And this is crazy. I mean, it's so good to see. And the only thing that's a little bit sad here is that transitioning from doing normal colors to doing C colors is not as smooth as going from normal Vihila to hard Vihila. If you're, you know, a fan of the channel, you will know that I like Vihila a lot because I like the boss design, and here the fight basically completely changes from normal to C colors because you need so much more damage that you don't even get any practice in if you keep running normal colors in the party, because you know you'll just hit on a boss, and then you have to face C colors, which is, you know, so taxing on everybody. I don't know. With that being said, this wasn't the first clear. This was the second clear that I just showed, because the first clear was awful. Awful gameplay by me, and I feel like there was no value in showing that. This was the second clear, and at this point into, you know, doing Kalos and Carling, I'm the last one to pick up a grindstone and send it. So I'm really looking forward to that. And you know, maybe now that we do C colors, more grindstones will come. But yeah, so far, how many years have I been playing? Like 2 years now, no grindstone. Obviously, you know, when I started playing Six Drop wasn't a thing, and Kalos wasn't a thing, right? But I want a grindstone, which also, you know, I should have done these harder bosses earlier. And yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, thank you very much for watching this video with me. With me, yeah, basically. I've been watching my own run here, right? And I'll see you guys next Thursday. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody, and bye bye.